When I was 8 years old, my parents recorded my brother holding me underwater to see how long I could survive. Well, before I passed out, I lasted 48 seconds. I was kicking and screaming, and they did nothing to help me. And ever since that day, I vowed, I'm getting the heck out of this place when I turn 18. And that's exactly what I did. And I met somebody that I fell in love with, and now we're getting married. Here's the ultimatum. I said, hey mom, hey dad, sure, we haven't talked much lately, but I know how much you want to be a part of this wedding. So you guys can come as long as my brother can't. Well, they had an absolute fit. They said, oh no, he's going to be coming too because he's part of this family. So I said, okay, well, you guys can all stay at home. And that was the biggest mistake of my life. After that, it led to a fire breaking out at my house, which was suspected to be arson, my brother getting in trouble with the cops, and of course my wedding day being crashed. I'm going to walk you through all of it and let you know right now, this is a wild ride. I'm 27 female and I'm getting married in 3 months to my amazing fiancé Josh. We're having a small ceremony in Napa. About 100 people. I've invited my sister Gina, my grandpa Tom, and several aunts, uncles, and cousins, but I'm not inviting my parents Dave and Patty, or my brother Mario. Before everyone jumps on me, here's some context that you don't know. Mario has been the golden child his entire life. When he was 13, he showed promise as a baseball player, and my parents restructured our entire family around his, quote, career. I'm talking about moving houses to be closer to his training facility, spending my college fund on equipment and good coaching, missing every single one of my school events for his games, and making me quit violin because practice disturbed his rest. But it goes beyond favoritism. See, Mario has tormented me my entire life, and my parents either laughed it off or punished me for being dramatic. Some examples are this. When I was 15, he pulled my dress up at my quinceañera in front of 200 people, exposing me for almost a minute while everybody was laughing. He held me underwater in our joint swimming pool to see how long I could last while Dad timed it. He flushed my hamster and then stuck him in the microwave, not long enough to hurt it, just enough that, well, I can't even write it here. He regularly stole from me and destroyed my belongings and physically hurt me. I moved to Seattle at the age of 18 and went low contact. I built a heck of a life. Got my master's, worked in tech, and have amazing friends. When Josh proposed, I knew I wanted to be absolutely drama-free at my wedding. See, my parents are livid. They're calling me an ungrateful daughter, saying I destroyed the family and that Mario has, quote, grown up. Guys, he lives in their garage and hasn't worked in 3 years. They've recruited flying monkeys to harass me daily, and my mother claims she's having chest pains from all of the stress. Am I the a-hole for protecting my peace on my wedding day? This is a short post, I understand that, but I will be back with more updates, I guess, if that's how things go around here. Edit. Yes, there's more. So much more, but hey, there's a character limit, but I promise for an update. Edit 2. To those asking why Gina is invited, she got out at 18 just like me and has been my absolute rock. She's currently helping me plan security for the wedding because yes, we are that concerned. Update number 1. Holy hell, this blew up. Let me answer some common questions. Yes, we have security hired for the wedding, and no, Mario never faced consequences because parents paid off multiple victims. The baseball career ended at 16 when he injured himself showing off. Something happened last night that I need to share here, and that brings me to the updates. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my parents and brother to my wedding? See, I did not expect this type of response when I first made the post. Thank you, first of all, to the people who validated me for what I've been feeling. Your comments made me realize I've been underplaying how bad things actually are. But something happened last night that I seriously just need to share. My parents hired a private investigator to find dirt on Josh. The PI called me instead. He said, "Ma'am, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've looked into your family situation for exactly 1 day, and I'm refunding your parents' money and suggesting they seek psychiatric help for your brother. Also, you might want to know he's been making fake social media accounts. Apparently, Mario has been creating fake vendor accounts to try to get our wedding venue information, messaging Josh's ex-girlfriends trying to get them to warn him about me. Anyways, attempting to catfish my bridesmaid for information, and posted a countdown on his Instagram stories, 62 days until justice. What the hell does that even mean? The PI sent me screenshots of absolutely everything. He also told me something pretty chilling. I ran a background check on your brother. There's 4 women with restraining orders against him. Your parents paid for them all to go away. Well, I called Gina immediately, and she was not surprised. Sabrina, there's something I never told you. Remember his ex-girlfriend Mario from 2018? She reached out to me. Dad paid her $30,000 to drop the assault charges. I'm sitting here shaking. How many victims has he had? How much have my parents gone and just covered up? Josh wants to hire additional security. His military buddies have volunteered to handle things. If Mario shows up, my future mother-in-law suggested we move the venue and not tell anyone the new location until the day before. But here's the thing. I'm done hiding. I'm done letting them make me rearrange my life. I'm posting everything. The screenshots, the recordings, because yeah, I have recordings from childhood still. Am I the a-hole? I don't even care anymore. I just want other people to know what happens when parents enable a monster. Edit, Gina just texted me Mario is on TikTok Live, talking about wedding crashing season. He has 47 viewers encouraging him. Update number 2. The golden child brother, he showed up at my sister's house. I know you're all waiting for the wedding update, but something happened that simply cannot wait. Mario showed up at Gina's house yesterday at 3 in the morning. Her Ring doorbell caught everything. He had a jerry can of gasoline and was live streaming on TikTok. I crap you not, this 35-year-old man in Pokemon boxers was about to commit arson on social. Plot twist, Gina moved out 6 months ago and the new owners... Well, you're not gonna believe this. It turns out one is an FBI agent. Yeah, and they're about to burn his house down. The arrest video on TikTok has 4.2 million views. The comment section found my original post, and I'm getting messages from reporters. But here's the part that broke me. My parents were watching his live stream. They were in the chat. My mother commented, "Mario, honey, come home," while he was pouring gasoline. They knew, they watched, and they did not call emergency. So, the FBI agent called me. Gina gave them my contact, and they said this is not his first federal offense. Remember those fake vendor accounts? Well, that's considered wire fraud. The attempts to contact Josh's employer with a deep fake of me. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that one. That's interstate harassment and, well, at least defamation. Mario's looking at some prison time, and my dad had a minor stroke last night. Mom posted on Facebook it's because her daughters are hurting their father with cruelty, and the comments are not what she expected. Turns out everyone's been watching Mario's TikToks. Our elderly neighbor commented, "Patty, your son just committed attempted arson on live stream, and your daughters are saints for not pressing charges sooner." So the wedding is in 8 weeks. We're not changing venues, but Josh's military intelligence friend made some phone calls, and Mario's on the no-fly list now. I'm done protecting them from consequences. Edit. My therapist asked if I wanted to share my childhood recordings in court. 64 audio files, 12 videos, all dated, all documented. Mario's going away for a long time. Update number 3. My dad called me from his hospital bed. Yeah, the title says it all. Dad called an hour ago. First time we've spoken in 2 years. He said, "Sabrina, I'm dying." I said, "Okay." A long silence after that. He said, "I need to tell you something." I knew what he was doing to you, and I knew I just laughed. Because if I didn't laugh, I had to admit we created a monster. I recorded the call. Obviously, it's legal in my state. And, well, here's the transcript of what broke me. "Dad, remember when he held you underwater?" "Me? Which time?" And Dad said, geez, there were multiple times. The time I timed it 47 seconds, I know you were 11. I watched my son try to drown my daughter, and I turned it into a game. What kind of father does that? And I said, the kind who's calling from a hospital bed while his son is in federal custody. And my father says, I failed you. I said, yeah, Dad, well, you did. And Dad said, your mother still doesn't see it. She's been showing the lawyers your baby photos, trying to prove you were always difficult. Pictures of you crying as a toddler, evidence that you deserved it. I said, Dad, why are you telling me this? He said, because I'm going to testify against Mario and Patty if needed. I've already called the prosecutor. I just want to pass on with something decent act of my record. I said, it won't make me forgive you, you know that. He says, I know. I wanted you to know that I see it now, all of it. Every birthday he ruined, every achievement he stole, and every bruise we ignored. You were a baby, and we fed you to a wolf that we raised. He sent me something after the call, a video from my quinceañera I've never seen. He filmed the dress incident, the whole shebang. You can hear him laughing, but at the very end, after I ran away crying, there's a whisper he probably forgot was recorded. He says, what have we done? He knew. Even then, he knew. Mario's lawyer contacted me yesterday, wants me to testify that it was a sibling rivalry, and asked for leniency. I sent him the quinceañera video and CC'd the prosecutor, and, well, the wedding is in 6 weeks. Dad asked if he could walk me down the aisle. I said Grandpa Tom already is. He said, good. That's good. Someone who actually protected you should have that honor. I don't know how to feel, vindicated, angry, empty, all of it. Update. Mom just called screaming that I'm manipulating Dad and his weakened state. I asked her one question, if Mario was drowning, would you save him? She said, of course. And I said, well, he watched me drown for 47 seconds when I was 11, and you both did, actually. And she hung up the phone. Update number 4. My brother tried to crash my wedding from jail. Yep, really. So, the previous post explains the backstory, but this is the real post why I'm here today. My golden child brother is in federal custody for attempting to burn down what he thought was our sister's house on TikTok Live. Turns out it was an FBI agent. My wedding was yesterday. It was perfect until it wasn't. Then it was perfect again. Let me explain. Everything was going beautifully. Grandpa Tom walked me down the aisle. He whispered, your parents are missing the best thing that ever, well, happened to them. And I almost lost it. The ceremony was gorgeous, and Josh's vows included a promise to be the family you choose and the protection you deserve, and everybody cried. Then, during the father-daughter dance, me and Grandpa Tom, the DJ accidentally played Baby Got Back. If you read my first post, you know at my quinceañera, Mario paid the DJ to play this during my entrance, then exposed me to 200 people. It was traumatic, and I froze completely. Josh immediately recognized what was happening, and he grabbed the mic. Sorry everyone, quick story. Someone tried to ruin this song for my wife years ago, and today we're reclaiming it. Then he starts singing intentionally terrible, the most ridiculous off-key version, and the whole wedding joined in. My 82-year-old Grandpa Tom was, well, what do the kids call it? Twerking? My boss was doing the robot, and the photographer was crying, laughing. We turned trauma into triumph, and someone filmed it. It had, like, a lot of views in 24 hours, but here's the jail part. During the reception, the venue coordinator pulled Josh aside. Mario had called from a federal detention center claiming to be Josh's brother with an emergency. When that didn't work, he called back as a doctor, saying Josh's parents had been in an accident. Then, as the FBI was saying, as, well, I wanted for questioning. Each call was recorded, each one is another federal charge. But the wildest part, my mother shows up. Not to the venue, she just doesn't know where it was. She went to the wrong venue, the one from Mario's fake vendor account investigation, and had a complete meltdown when they said there was no wedding here. It's on their security footage. She's screaming about her ungrateful daughter and how she has a mother's right to see her child married. And the venue even posted it online with her face blurred, and they called it When Toxic Parents Don't Get the Invite. It has millions of views. Meanwhile, at our real reception, Gina gave a speech that ended with, Sabrina spent her childhood in a war zone disguised as a home. Today she chooses peace, and we're all here to defend it. The entire room stood up and applauded. Dad watched via FaceTime from his hospital bed. Grandpa Tom's idea, not mine. He was crying. He mouthed "I'm sorry" over and over, and I did not respond. I just turned the phone so he could see me dancing with my chosen family. Mario's going to be sentenced next month. Prosecution says 8 to 12 years with the new charges. Mom's filed for divorce from Dad because he's testifying. She's living with her sister, posting about her, quote, stolen family while the internet roasts her. Oh, and me. I'm on my honeymoon in Greece, checking the internet from a villa overlooking the sea. Yeah, Josh just bought me breakfast in bed, hash browns. Life is good when you choose yourself. Final update. Hey, guys, we're pregnant. 12 weeks. It's a girl. We're going to name her Daniela, after my self-defense instructor who taught me to fight back. She'll grow up knowing she's worthy of protection, respect, and love. Everything I didn't have, she will. My parents will never meet her, and that's not my loss, it's theirs. I might be back for an update, but I doubt it. The Golden Child Saga conclusion. He's going away for 12 years. This is my final update, and I need to close this chapter. Mario was sentenced yesterday, 12 years federal prison, no possibility of parole for 8. The charges were attempted arson, interstate stalking, wire fraud, creation and distribution of my images, witness tampering, the jail cell calls, and 26 counts of harassment. But here's what really happened at sentencing. Father testified from his wheelchair. He's had 2 more strokes, and he played the pool incident video in court, and Mario's lawyer gasped. You could hear 11-year-old me gasping for air, begging, while my parents laughed and the judge had to call recess. Then the other victims testified. All 4 women with restraining orders, plus 3 more we don't even know about. One was actually 16 years old. When he dated her at 24. My parents knew because they knew everything. Mom tried to give a character statement for Mario, and the judge stopped her after she said, "I'm always jealous," and probably seduced him into acting out. Yep, she said that in federal court on record. You want to know Mario's final statement? This is Sabrina's fault for being born. Everything was perfect until she came along. He was 8 when I was born, and the judge's final words were, "Mr. Delgado, you are not the victim of your sister's existence. You're a 35-year-old man who live-streamed a felony in Pokemon underwear. Your parents did not create a monster. You chose to become one. They chose, well, to make you, and they just chose to feed it." After court, something amazing happened. All 7 of Mario's victims met me for coffee. We created a support group. We're calling it the Survivor Squad, and we meet monthly via Zoom calls. Mom's been banned from multiple family member properties, and she showed up to Cousin Linda's demanding everyone choose a side. Well, Linda chose. She posted Mom's ring footage with the caption, "When the enabler becomes the problem." I was, knowing this, and Mom's officially uninvited from everything. Father, he passed away 2 days ago. His last words to the nurse were, "Tell Sabrina she was right about everything." I did not go to the hospital. I was at my 20-week ultrasound seeing my daughter, choosing life over death, future over the past. And the funeral is tomorrow, and you know what? I'm not going. Instead, Josh and I are painting the nursery. Gina's coming over to help, and Grandpa Tom is building a rocking chair for Daniela. Mario called from prison. How does he keep getting phone access? Left a voicemail, "I hope your baby passes like your hamster." I played it for the FBI, and he just got another 18 months and lost phone privileges for 2 years. To everyone who's following this saga, thank you. Your support kept me sane, and your validation kept me strong. To anybody dealing with the golden child situation, document it. Choose yourself and build your chosen family. You can't save people who don't want saving, but you can save yourself. My daughter will never know them. She'll never wonder if she's worthy of protection, and she'll never beg for basic safety. She'll be free in ways I'm still learning to be. And that's how you break a cycle. Final edit/update. Daniela Rose was born at 3:45 a.m., the exact time Mario was arrested on TikTok Live. 7 pounds, 2 ounces of perfection. When the nurse asked about family medical history, I said, narcissistic personality disorder, enabling behaviors and criminal tendencies on the paternal side. But we're breaking those chains. She laughed, and then I saw I was serious. She said, "Good for you, Mama." Josh cried when she grabbed his finger. "She's so strong," he whispered. "She comes from a long line of survivors," I told him. "She just gets to be the first one born free." Gina's here, Grandpa Tom is here, and my chosen family fills the waiting room. My phone! It has 47 missed calls from an unknown number. I know it's my mother. I just do. Probably calling from Aunt Rosa's phone because I blocked it without even listening. I'm holding my daughter, and for the first time in my life, I understand what unconditional love actually means. It's not enabling, oh no. It's not excusing, it's not sacrificing one child for another. It's this. Promising she'll never have to earn her place in this family. She already belongs, she always will. Welcome to the world, baby girl. You're already so loved. Edit. Mario's prison buddies found the TikTok videos. He's in protective custody now. They want to beat him up. Karma really said Pokemon underwear in federal prison? Yeah, I'll take care of this. Final edit. Dad's funeral was yesterday. Gina went to observe, and only Mom and 3 people showed up. The pastor apparently went off script and said David enabled evil and is facing his judgment, and Mom fainted. It's on the funeral home's live stream. Meanwhile, we had 47 people visit us and Daniela yesterday. Our chosen family is starting to grow. That's the difference between real love and forced obligation. And yeah, that's it. Real love shows up without threats, guilt, or manipulation. It just shows up. What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed today's video. I do want to review a comment. It has somebody replying to this comment, and they are not in agreement with each other. So I'm going to read 2 comments, and you guys tell me which one you agree with the most. Here comes comment number 1, which, by the way, was not very much liked with the people who read the story. It says this. I'm sorry, OP, but you're the a-hole, believe it or not. I can't believe anyone's buying this victim narrative when you're literally destroying your entire family over childhood pranks. Well, that happened 20 years ago. Your brother is clearly mentally ill, and instead of getting him help, you're sending him to a federal prison while your father is passing away and your mother is having a complete breakdown. You admit yourself that Mario showed incredible promise as an athlete until his injury. Has it ever occurred to you that losing his dream at 16 might have contributed to his mental health decline? But no, Princess Sabrina had to move to Seattle to get her fancy tech job, marry military money, and then act shocked when the family you abandoned for a decade doesn't worship you at your feet. See, your dad is literally passing away alone, begging for forgiveness, and you're painting nurseries and naming your baby after some random self-defense instructor instead of honoring your family. I guarantee there's another side to this story, probably involving you being a manipulative narcissist who's been planning this revenge since childhood, keeping recordings like some psychopath. See, you got your brother 12 years in prison, and you're celebrating while your mother loses everything. Congratulations on being the real golden child who destroyed everyone who did not bend to your will. Guys, that was the first comment. Now we're going to check out the second one that is replying to the first comment. It says, "Are you absolutely insane?" Or just Mario's secret prison pen pal, because there's no way a functioning adult read about an 11-year-old being held underwater for 47 seconds, while their parents timed it and thought, yeah, she's the problem here. See, this is not about childhood pranks, you enabling walnut. He literally showed up with gasoline to burn down a house on livestream at 35 years old. He created a deep fake image of his sister, hurt her pet, well, I'm not going to say what he actually did to it with the microwave, and assaulted her at her quinceañera in front of 200 people, and has 7 other people who are victims with restraining orders active that the parents paid to silence. My father is not, quote, dying alone. He's facing the consequences of creating and enabling a monster who traumatized multiple women, and the mother is in court claiming her 15-year-old daughter seduced her adult son into bad behavior. OP keeping recordings was not psychopathic. It was survival, and literally the only reason she got justice since every adult in her life failed to protect her. The fact that you think a child should have stayed around to, quote, help her adult brother who is actively abusing her shows you're either an internet troll, an enabler in your own toxic family, or Mario himself using the prison library computer. Either way, seek therapy immediately because your moral compass is so broken, it's pointing straight to hell. where it belongs, along with anyone who thinks documenting abuse makes you worse than the abuser. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Guys, that was the 2 comments of the story. Let's talk about it down below in our comment section. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And like always, if you did, smash that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And of course, remember one thing. It's cool to be kind. Peace.